We are back. Welcome to another show of Red Cup Rants. I'm your girl, LaDonna L. DZ Fashizi. That's how I feel tonight. How you gentlemen doing this evening?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I saw my son play basketball for the first time today. I kind of feel some kind of way because I'm not there, but it was good. It was good to see him out there playing a sport. So I'm happy about that.
I was a little sad that I actually was doing some adulting stuff and missed it. I totally missed it. I'm so sad. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be there.
It's okay. It's okay. Next Tuesday, he's got a game next Tuesday. So I'll make sure I tag you guys in it to let y'all
Oh,
know
yeah,
to watch y'all nephew play.
I'm ready. I'm there.
Hmm.
I'm in there. Hey, Sam.
What up, Sam? What's
I do
good?
want to say we do have a special a guest tonight. Host guest. He might be on. I think he's going to be on live with us. Tyler Butler. He is my insider for NFL. He's a great dude. A lot of people don't give him credit, so he should be on shortly to talk some NFL with us. What? I'm just sorry. I just got the notification. Mizzou is ranked number 25. Take that. Take that.
Hate week, right?
Take it.
Hate week, right?
It's hate week. It's hate week. So that's why I had to bring it up. Just let everybody know.
I don't even care at this point right now because my son's team is in the SEC championship game, and he's been telling me about it every day. Uh, so I'm not even worried about it. All I want to say is I hope Alabama drugs them by 35 points. That's it.
I don't like Florida either, so that's how I feel it.
I don't like Florida, so I hope they get drugged, super drugged, cause I've been peaceful. I took my loss in stride, but those Florida fans keep coming for me, so I hope they get drugged because if you're on my friends list, if you're on my friends list, you know my petty game is super strong. So if Florida does lose this SEC championship game, just be prepared. I'm gonna have a lot of people blocking me. I'm gonna have a lot of Florida fans blocking me if they lose. And don't give me that, oh, we beat Georgia and everything. Well, hey, you know what I'm saying? The sun shines on the dog's ass every once in a while, and a clock is broken twice in a day. So,
Oh,
but y'all gonna get all these skibbity paps if y'all lose to Alabama. Y'all getting all these skibbity paps.
part of me wants them to win because I hate Bama, and then the other part
No, I
wants
want
them to
Bama to win.
lose because I hate Florida. It's like I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place.
well, I don't have a problem with Bama. The only reason why I have a problem with Bama is because they kept us. They knocked us out of the SEC championship game. But if there's one team I hate in all the galaxies and all the solar systems, it's the Florida
The
Gators.
Galaxies.
I hate the Florida Gators with a passion because they are the fans are obnoxious. They act like they're a blue collar team. So yes, whenever Florida loses, God smiles.
Not God smiles.
Yeah, yeah. So I hope Alabama beats them like the last time they met when they beat them like 55-10 or something like that. I hope that's the same thing that happens when they play again. So I can shut my son up. And it's a couple people on my page that I want to shut up. So yeah. But anyway, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent like that. I just got a little emotional. So
Well, since
how
you over
y'all
there
do?
getting emotional, we got Tyler. We're gonna bring him in.
Yo, what
Good
up?
evening.
What's
Hey,
good,
y'all.
man? How you
Appreciate
doing?
y'all.
Welcome, man. Welcome, man.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So introduce yourself, Mister.
Yeah. So my name is Tyler Butler. I'm the owner of Sports and Culture Sports Media and Enough for the BS podcast. We cover a lot in the South Carolina area and also Arkansas and Dallas. My apologies.
I was like, oh, you got to bring up
Yeah.
that you are my insider.
Yeah,
You're my insider. If I need something that I can't confirm it, I'm in your inbox.
I appreciate it. Yeah, yeah, I forgot. Let me throw that out. I also work for the Dallas Cowboy Network on Instagram, so definitely give us a follow.
Definitely, man.
Yes.
Definitely, man. Welcome, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the malarkey. Welcome to the malarkey, man.
Hey, appreciate it.
Yeah. So, shout out to Miss
Um,
Maggie. Shout out to Monty. Shout out to Sam. All y'all checking in, man. We're getting in here, man. So, go ahead, man.
yeah, this week we're gonna talk about. We're just gonna get this out of our chest, and we're gonna talk about this game, and it's the Cowboys game. I'm only here for Dez.
Yeah,
That's it.
Shout out to Dez for making that comeback, man. Especially after what he went through. I'm definitely gonna be watching tonight because of him.
yeah, same here.
Yeah,
I'm rooting for Dez. I hope we get off tonight, but I mean, I hope they lose, but I hope we get busy.
I got my jersey on. Just I'm ready.
It's gonna be a
Well,
combination of
Action
him
Jackson
and
is
Dez
back.
up on
Action
him.
Jackson is back. So I mean, it might not make a difference, but he is back tonight. So, but I have seen the Cowboys play. You see how they played the Steelers in their last game. So, I mean, it's gonna be interesting tonight. I'm definitely ready to see what's going on. I definitely want to see what Dez gonna do, and I want to see what the Cowboys gonna do with post Dak because he's been hurt and you know they're kind of like I told my BFF they're kind of like how the Falcons are as far as the crossroads and stuff like that as far as the same type of team. So what do you guys as Cowboy fans? What do you guys expect tonight with this game?
Get round up on from Lamar.
Yeah, he's back tonight. I think he's off the list tonight, so he's back. So
Yeah, Lamar's playing.
yeah, he's
That's what
playing
I'm saying.
tonight.
We're gonna get run up on by Lamar.
Oh yeah, because the first running back is healthy. The other two ain't. Well, one of them is Mark Ingram.
Yeah,
Well,
we gotta keep Lamar in the pocket, man. Make him throw. That's the only way we're gonna win this game.
Alden Smith needs to show his ass tonight. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
Cause I think he's the only one with the speed to keep up. I know everybody talks about Demarcus Lawrence. Everybody talks about that front four, but the key to the Cowboys win tonight, Alden Smith versus Lamar Jackson. That's the matchup that I think Alden Smith needs to win that because he has the speed to keep up with Lamar Jackson. If he does get out the pocket, even Jaden Smith, the other Smith, they got to keep up with Lamar because if Lamar Jackson gets out the pocket and he starts doing what he does that we all seen that he could do, it's gonna be a long night for them Cowboys.
for sure.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah,
I
I think.
expect it.
Looks like we have a
Mhm.
caller. Caller, what's your name?
Already?
What's going on? You make me so happy.
Oh,
Oh hey, I haven't heard from you in a while.
he's only out to
Oh,
talk to Joy about the Falcons. Go ahead.
I mean, what can I say? Like everyone mentioned, not shocked with the Rams, Jared Goff. I mean, I expect Dak Prescott was the best quarterback of that class, and I think we're seeing why. You see the Cowboys offense struggling without Dak. The Rams turn into a running team now. The Eagles, I don't even know what to say about the Eagles. Falcons, I mean, I don't know. I mean, without trashing Matt Ryan, I'm just gonna say they need a new quarterback. They need a new coach. They just need to revamp the whole entire team. Scratch. Start from the beginning because this current Falcons team is not going to win next year. So you need to start over. Draft a quarterback. All this winning now is going to prevent them from getting a great franchise quarterback next year. You know, then real quick on the Jets, I love what Greg Williams did. All out blitz, a chance to screw your team from getting their first win so you can tank for Lawrence. Brilliant. And he was a sacrificial lamb. Adam Gay should have been fired yesterday as well. I don't know what he has over the Jets owner, but Adam Gay should have been fired week one. Every single player that has left playing Adam Gase has played better. Leonard Williams with the Giants, Jamal Adams leads all safeties in sacks. Zeke Elliott will win a ring in Kansas City. Ryan Tannehill just signed a new contract with Tennessee. Been playing lights out since he left him. I have no idea why Adam Gase is still a head coach, but that's beside the point. Let me just say, you guys are doing a great job. Keep doing what you're doing, and I will be rooting for Lamar Jackson to beat your Cowboys, so Jerry Jones can pay Dak Prescott.
I agree with that, but I think he's going to get paid regardless because we're seeing what this team is not doing
Yeah, I
when
think
he's,
yeah,
he's
yeah. Just
So
gonna say, I
I
think
don't
you're
know
right
about
about
40
that.
million now after that injury, but he's gonna get paid.
oh, definitely. I
right.
think especially after now, I knew when Dak was gonna get paid when Boom himself said he misses Dak Prescott. And I know as much as Boone criticizes Dak Prescott, when he said that, that lets me know that he is very much missed. So, unfortunately, you got to pay the man. You got to pay the man. I mean, I know we talked about it last week as far as what I thought was going to happen. You know, Jerry's trying to get his boy, but the way the Jets are tanking right now, Trevor Lawrence is going to be a Jet. So, I mean, I think they'll be the Cowboys best option if they just give that 38 $40 million price tag.
And Tyler, I have a question for you. What or who do you think will not be on the team, and what moves do you see us making in the draft?
Oh man. So far it seemed like they're really looking at the secondary at this time. The defensive back out of Alabama is high on the draft board for the Cowboys, from what I heard. Um, Jalen Smith, I tell you what, if he doesn't take this pay cut, because they already done talked about trying to reconstruct his contract, if he doesn't take this pay cut, I don't expect him to be around too much longer. So it's really up to him to see if they're gonna be able to reconstruct his contract. But I think Dallas is gonna look heavily into that secondary come draft night. Not quarterback. Dak is not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's what it was. Patrick Surtain Jr.
Yeah.
That's what Sam said. And Brian, yes, the Jets are tanking. But as evident from that last play, the Jets are definitely tanking. They definitely are tanking. So yeah.
Terrible, terrible. I've never seen that type of in my life. Everyone plays prevent defense, eight in the back, and he decides to go all out blitz. Oh my goodness.
They definitely want that number one pick, and it's pretty much solidified unless they win a game. Jacksonville's got the number two pick, so the Jets are pretty much like we're gonna get this number one pick regardless. We're gonna do everything in our power to keep it. So it's
But
definitely
the crazy thing
like
is, thinking doesn't really work in the NFL. Just because you get the number one pick, your team was terrible. There's a reason why they were a lottery team in the first place. Look at Cincinnati. Joe Burrow is a very good quarterback, but that offensive line was terrible. The defense, they didn't even fix it. So, okay, Trevor Lawrence goes to the Jets, and then what? Does the offensive
well,
line
my thing is
magically
this. My
get
thing is
better?
this. Even though the Bengals were trash, Joe Burrow was playing pretty good before the injury. Joe Burrow was playing pretty good ball. He was playing pretty good ball before he got hurt. So and like I said, and then Mike Tomlin said it best. Mike Tomlin said it best, and a lot of people said that he was an asshole for saying this to Chase Young. He said it himself that he said, if I have to draft you, I'm not trying to lose a lot of games to draft you, and that makes sense. That makes sense to the NFL because if you're a good team or a decent team, you're not trying to tank for a player, a game changing player. And with the fact of the matter is, we all know the Jets are not good. They're not good. So they're basically at the bottom and they're trying to build up. So that's what they're trying to do. In order to get that player that they want, sometimes you gotta make that sacrifice. But right now, if I was a player on the Jets, I'll be pissed off because we had the win in our grasp. Just give us a feel good story. Let us win a game. I don't want to be associated with an 0-16 team. Let us get that one win to say, hey, at least we're competitive. Because even Ladonna said it the whole time. These are professionals in the NFL. These are professionals. So let us get that one win. Let us get one. So I mean, the way that cause think about it. What team runs a casino blitz zero coverage? Like, raise your hand. Raise your hand if you ever seen the team that's winning the game runs a casino blitz zero coverage. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Anybody. Anybody in here in the sound of my voice. Anybody? Bueller. 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 Anybody? Exactly. Nobody has never ran a man covers casino blitz when they're trying to get their first win. So
Play the game.
if I was a Jets player, I'd be super pissed right now. I'd be pissed. Really, because I'm not trying to be associated being 0-16. I'm not. So that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And Brian, I understand. I understand. You don't want to be. They say they was going 0-16, but at the same time, have some pride. Have some pride about your team. Have some pride about the uniform that you put on every day. Have some pride about you getting paid millions of dollars to play a sport. Just have some pride. Have some pride. And the crazy thing about it is, the Jets fired their defensive coordinator. That's not the problem. The problem is the whole Jets organization up and down. It's to Woody Johnson, to whoever. It's a problem. It's a problem.
Yep.
I thought my Falcons had problems, but the Jets got us beat by a country mile on this. Definitely got us beat. So that's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is that if I'm a Jets player, I'll be definitely talking shit because I'm like, we was in the realm of beat a team that a lot of people consider would be an AFC sleeper, and you lose to just keep a number one pick. And then on top of that, what if Trevor Lawrence pulls a Bo Jackson and be like, I don't want to play for the Jets? Then what? Then what? Now you just fucked. You're basically fucked. You know? Or
Because
John Elway.
didn't he say he didn't want to play for them?
Yeah. I heard rumors say he don't want to play. And then like John Elway said he didn't want to play for the Colts. And what he go do? Go play baseball. What did Trevor Lawrence say? You know what? I'm gonna take the season off. I'm not gonna declare for the draft. I'm gonna just chill out. Then what the Jets gonna do?
He might do the same thing. He said he didn't want to play for the Chargers, and he basically forced them to trade him to the Giants.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just. I mean, I understand that the Jets are trying to get that number one pick, and I understand that. That's cool. But at the same time, I mean,
Okay,
he
he
retracted.
retracted his.
He
He
retracted the
retracted
statement,
it. Okay.
Chargers.
and then
What
and then
do you guys think about the
and
Chargers?
my thing is this. My thing is this. And then we're still talking about the Jets, and I'm sure Brian could kind of explain to me what does Sam Darnold think about all this. He was supposed to be the franchise guy, and now they're taking to get another quarterback. How does Sam Darnold feel about this? Any one of y'all can answer.
It's
How does
it's
Sam
got
Darnold
it.
feel about all
I'll let
all this
Tyler.
going
I'll
on?
let Tyler. I'll let Tyler hit this first because we're probably thinking the same
Yeah, go
thing.
ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, I think Sam, he has to understand it's a business. Everybody in the NFL knows. Trevor Lawrence is a once in a lifetime quarterback. I'm 20 minutes away from Clemson. So that's all I hear over here is nothing but Trevor Lawrence talk. But
Hmm.
Sam Darnold, man, he's a professional. He's a pro. He understands how business goes. You can easily be replaced year after year. He's not, unfortunately, it's not his fault he's not putting up the numbers. Just like you said, they suck for a
It's a
reason.
dumpster fire, man. Yeah, it's it's a dumpster
Yeah,
fire in
it's
New
it's
York.
a
I mean,
horrible organization from the general manager
hmm
down.
all the
And
way down.
even if they draft Trevor Lawrence, I don't see too much of an improvement from the Jets because they have a ass load of trash players on that team. I mean, just being honest. There's a
You
lot of
have
holes on
Frank.
the Jets.
No offense to Frank Gore because I love Frank Gore, but
I
me and
feel
Frank
bad
Gore
for
are the same age, and he is your starting running back.
Look
Terrible.
what Sean said. Sean said Darnold can play. But Gates can't coach. Look at Tannehill. That's true.
And that's true.
That's
You know,
absolutely true.
someone brought it
So
up. You
so
know, I
so
agree with that.
so my question to you guys is: it more so the organization that's the problem?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because this is not the first year. This has been, I mean, a
It's
century of
been
bad
years.
play
It's been
from the
years.
Jets. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
but
been years.
I
they
mean,
got
technically, the Jets did make the AFC Championship game 2 years in a row, and that was 10, 11 years ago.
Was
But
mhm.
that
what you're
Testaverde?
what you're seeing
Sanchez.
is like with Matt
Oh, it
with
was Mark
fine,
Sanchez.
but the quarterback play from Mark Sanchez to Geno Smith to Ryan Fitzpatrick to Sam Darnold to Luke Falk, these are not top 10 quarterbacks. I mean, the quarterback position is the most important position on the field. They shouldn't be the highest paid. They should, but they are the most important. And if you have those players as your quarterback, they're not going to lead you anywhere. And with Sam Darnold, I hate giving excuses to quarterbacks because we saw Josh Allen put in the work and improve this year. I can't even say nothing bad about Josh Allen. He put in the work and he improved. Sam Darnold has regressed. And the Sam Darnold that I saw last year, the one that came back from mono and was 7-6, that's not the Sam Darnold I saw this year. He lost a lot of confidence. He's missing easy throws, and they drafted a great wide receiver from Baylor for him, and he's still not making the throws that he was making last year. So I I hate to say that. Oh, if Adam Gase is gone, Sam Darnold is going to be good. It's not necessarily like that. You're supposed to elevate the play of your offensive players, like we see in Green Bay. I don't even know if any of those receivers are first round picks, but we know that Aaron Rodgers elevates them. We cannot say Sam Darnold elevates anyone on the offense. So it's tough for me to say if Sam Darnold plays under a new coach, he's going to be that much better because he's not showing anything to say that he has talent. He's making the same mistakes, holding on to the ball. He's basically the AFC version of Daniel Jones. So I'm not going to sit here and say he's good because I still think he's a bottom five quarterback based on his play in his career.
I will say this, and I agree with what Sean said.
Sean, this comment is golden.
Well, he said another one, and Sean said, who does he have to elevate?
Yeah.
Just because you're a quarterback that's great, I've seen Aaron Rodgers struggle when he didn't have weapons. Now you see when a great quarterback like Aaron Rodgers have weapons, he elevates. You got to have talent around you. And what?
I didn't know who
Nope,
Devontae
nope,
Adams was.
nope, nope, nope. All I'm saying is Josh Allen has weapons around him. They went and got Diggs.
Hmm.
They got a good
Yeah,
running game. They got a defense that can actually play. You got to put players around your franchise quarterback to be successful. I mean, look at Cleveland.
Yep.
Everybody wrote off Baker Mayfield as a bust, but now you're seeing how he does when he has actual weapons on both offense and defense. I mean, Miles Garrett has another 10 sack season. You got guys out there that can actually play. Nick Chubb is showing why he's probably in the top five this season as a top five running back this season. You need to put weapons around your quarterback. Not everybody can be a Tom Brady. No, not everybody can be a Tom Brady who could just elevate a team. You got to put players around your quarterback, around your offense to play, and that's not the case in New York. Who I mean, like I said, you talk about a USC wide receiver. Who else is out there? A old ass Frank Gore?
Yeah.
I mean, who
And you
who
got
else is out
And
there?
you got
very good.
Crowder.
Jameson
I mean,
Crowder, I would
but
say
but I mean, but who really talks about Crowder amongst the great wide receivers in the league? Raise your hand. Raise your
he's not
hand.
a top
Anybody?
10. He's not a
Anybody?
top
Raise
10.
your hand.
He's a very good
Oh,
wide
at the
receiver.
time.
He's a very good wide receiver, but who talks
He's
about him?
good, but he's
Who
not
who
elite
talks
either.
about him? Is he a game? Paul, let me ask you a question. Is he a game breaker? And don't lie. You're on live TV. Don't lie. Is he a great game breaking quarterback? A great game breaking wide receiver like who could actually take over a game? Exactly, Brian. Because Brian is a New York Jets fan, and he would tell you there is nobody on that team that could be a game breaker. The game breaker they had went to Kansas City as a backup.
And what was the last time they said an elite offensive player of any position besides Bill? Can we name a wide receiver?
It's been a
The
long
last the
time.
last time the last time the Jets had a game breaking wide receiver was Braylon Edwards, and he was on his downside.
Oh
And he was
yeah,
on the downside of his career at that point.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like. Does anybody know anybody on this panel?
Didn't
Explain,
they have
Tyler. You want to explain? Like, tell me. Tell
didn't they
me.
have
I
Brandon Marshall at one particular time
Brandon
for the
Marshall,
Cowboys?
exactly. So
That was
so
it.
explain. So Tyler, explain to me. Does anybody on that Jets team can be that game breaking type player that Sam Darnold needs?
Nah, they don't have it. And just to
They don't.
piggyback what you were saying, and LaDonna, look at the Dallas Cowboys. When Dak didn't have Amari, Dak's statistics was low. But now
Yep.
look at the weapons that's around Dak Prescott, and he was putting up historical numbers this season. That's all about the weapons he got around
Mm-hmm.
Can I say something? Can I say something? I just want to say that Amari Cooper trade worked out. So everybody that told me that it didn't work out,
him.
I'm gonna drop my cash app in the comments so y'all can send me money because I know a lot of people said it wasn't gonna work out. It did
I
work out. So I'm gonna
request
drop my
it.
It was
cash
a
app.
game
I'm a
changer.
request it. It was a game changer. I just didn't know if a first round pick was worth it at the time. Now it is. Now that you're seeing it, but at the very first when it happened, I was just like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
I questioned it myself, man, because he didn't look as energized in Oakland. He looked like he just didn't want to be there at all. He kind of still does that with Dallas. I
Are you
criticize
kidding
him a
me?
lot. Like it seems
Des
like
just
he just,
tested positive for COVID. Sorry.
oh wow, come on,
I
man.
Are
want him
you
to play
kidding
tonight.
me? I got his jersey on for nothing.
That's
I want him to play
marvelous,
tonight
man.
too. Damn, I want him to play tonight. I really
I'm
did.
hurt.
I really did.
I'm away
I'm
from my
hurt.
phone. I don't see any type of news right
I'm
now.
gonna need for you to go get your phone.
It's in the other room.
COVID
Oh
said. COVID.
man,
Oh,
COVID said. COVID said. Not tonight.
that is so true. I feel bad for Dez.
That's
He
crazy.
man.
was looking
I
forward
just
to
got
They
the
it.
just
notification.
they just pulled him off the field. That's crazy. Off the field. You practicing and you out there catching balls and ready to play, and they tell you, "Hey man, hey, come here, come here, come here, come here. You can't play tonight because you got COVID." That's
That's two
crazy.
years in a row. That's two
That's
years in a row he was supposed to play the Cowboys, and he last year I think he tore his Achilles before he was
he
supposed
tore
to.
his
Yeah, that's
Achilles, right? Yeah,
another.
right before he tore his Achilles.
Oh, and I was so ready.
Yeah, he just tweeted too. He said, "Tell me why they pulled me from warming up so I can get tested. My shit come back positive. I tested positive for COVID."
Wow. Yeah,
Said he
exactly, Brian. Brian, what they say, like Joe Clark and Lean on Me. Come with me. Come with me.
did.
That's crazy, man.
Damn.
So
Oh
now
boy.
well, that storyline is eliminated. So to you guys, what do you expect tonight from this Cowboys and Ravens game?
Oh Lord.
Not a damn thing.
They're gonna run
My
the ball
dad isn't even
100% of the
playing.
time.
I
Bull,
lost
what
all
you think?
confidence in Dallas Thanksgiving Day.
I think
Uh,
I don't
Go
even know.
ahead.
I think the only receiver that this guy has is Duvernay and Hollywood Brown. I just see them running the ball the whole game.
And, and
And
they
we don't
only
even know
have
how we don't even know how Lamar Jackson's going to be because he just got back and he might not even been practicing, so we don't know how he's going to be when he get back.
And
So
I think we saw what happened with Cam. When Cam came off of COVID, he was awful versus the 49ers.
Yeah.
Was not accurate or at all. And when you have a quarterback, I think Cam and Lamar are pretty similar. Um, Deep ball's not really their strong suit. The accuracy could be in question and sometimes, and you don't practice. That's tough.
it really is. It really is. Boom, what you think? What you think, man? I know you've been kind of quiet over there. What you think about this game tonight?
We're gonna lose. I've been saying it, trying to say it all night. Lamar Jackson gonna run all over us,
Hmm.
and whoever the running back is, they're gonna run all over us.
I think is Ingram playing tonight? Is Ingram playing
yes,
tonight?
Robbins
He's
who
playing
started.
tonight. Yeah, he's starting
Yeah,
tonight. So
but
yeah.
Andrews is not there, and Dobbins. That's the backup, right, Tyler? The Dobbins is their backup running back.
Yeah.
Dobbins is a starter now, and then Edwards is the backup, and Ingram's the
Oh
third
man.
string now. depending on
Well,
what we're doing.
Ingram is only there from like technically the starters, and Edwards, and I think Hill was back last week.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah,
Well, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. It's on a Tuesday. It's an interesting game. Uh, I mean, unless Dallas comes out like they played against Pittsburgh, unless they play how they did against Pittsburgh, I got the Ravens winning.
They shouldn't. There's no point of winning.
Yes, it is because the Falcons could jump over y'all and get that top 5 pick.
just for that, I hope we lose everything and y'all win for the rest of the season.
Hey, we got the Bucks and the Chiefs still to play, so we're not winning those games. So I'm just letting you know that right now. So, especially how the way we played against New Orleans, but that's a whole nother tangent I'm gonna go on. But the way we played against New Orleans this past weekend, I don't expect us to do anything. So I mean, I love my team, but yeah, I don't
New
expect
Orleans
them to
team is
do
different
anything.
though. It's a pretty
I'm
good
hurt.
team. Pretty very good
I'm
defense.
I'm hurt. But let's go talk about another game so I can feel, somewhat happy. And I guess we'll talk about Sam's team, those Giants,
Shout out to the Giants,
beating
man. They started
beating
0
those Seahawks.
they started 0-6 and now they're what 4-1, 4-2. Shout out to the Giants, man.
Five,
And
five points.
Colt McCoy, who came in for injured Daniel Jones and is playing. That defense is playing good, and they knocked off a good Seattle team. So I mean,
It's that defense.
yeah.
Mhm.
So who's it gonna come down to? I know the Redskins. Well, not the Redskins.
It's, go-
The
it's gonna come
Washington
down.
football team. They had a huge victory yesterday, knocking off the undefeated Steelers. You got the Giants who knocked off the Seahawks. I mean, you got the Cowboys and the Eagles kind of lurking there. So
It's
who
between them.
who who really is going to win the division? Because it's going to come down to a couple games. So who do y'all see winning the division in the East?
The Washington team.
I agree.
That front seven is dangerous.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Yeah,
so. But
and
don't count out the Giants though,
I'm
because
not
we
count, I'm
are.
not counting him out,
Uh,
but it's just
uh,
you asked.
I
I
think
know.
out of
All I'm saying, for my opinion, I just know the history with the Giants. When they come limping in the playoffs, all of a sudden they get that Super Mario mushroom, and they just start knocking off teams, and then next thing you know, they're in the Super Bowl. So I mean,
Hey
What
Byron.
I mean, that's I don't know about
hey,
that
hey,
though.
hey,
I mean,
hey, Byron, y'all lurking because y'all made a significant change, and the way that the season is going, you never know. You never know at all. So you never know. So I mean, I'm just putting it out there because I've seen stranger things happen, and I'm pretty sure all y'all said the same thing. I've seen stranger things happen in the NFL where you didn't think it was going to happen, but it did. So while
Like
I
this
would, I
weekend.
would exactly, yeah. Who thought the Giants were going to knock off the Seahawks, and who thought the Washington football team was going to knock off Pittsburgh?
I,
yeah,
I
I went through
called
that.
I called the Giants winning actually.
Yeah,
If
I
you
mean nobody
I
really
told, I told
nobody
my boy,
the
I
rest
told
of
my
them
boy
though.
that we were gonna win, and he was like, "No, I don't want to win."
and nobody expected the Washington football team to knock off Pittsburgh. I didn't.
No, that
I
I
mean,
didn't
and that's
expect.
tough to say though. That's tough to say because the Steelers were playing their third game in 12 days, and they were pretty tired and they were not focused. A lot of people called that upset.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
were still focused, but they were still in the game. It wasn't like they got blown out, dude. I mean, granted they weren't playing their best ball. I still think the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC, but the Steelers didn't get blown out. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the fact of the matter is that yes, they struggled against Washington, but they didn't like it. It wasn't like they got blown out. So I mean, I don't think. I mean, unless you're like a hardcore gambler, nobody expected Washington to knock off Pittsburgh.
And I have a question, and maybe you guys can answer. I, I have a real quick question. When the Cowboys played the Steelers, we were all in Rapist Burger's face. That's um. So do you think that other teams are following suit after that? Because it really felt like we set the tone right after that game. Everybody just started coming pounding.
It's the same thing that happened last year with New Orleans. It's the same thing that happened with New Orleans when y'all played New Orleans last year. When y'all played New Orleans last year, y'all gave Drew Brees hell. Teams started following that, and it's funny. It's funny. It's funny. It seems like every team, a good team, like an undefeated team or a one-loss team, when they play the Cowboys set the precedent for the league and how to play. Because I saw what happened last year where y'all played the Saints and y'all had Drew Brees struggling, y'all beat them. Everybody started following that blueprint. So I could say the same thing this year. The Cowboys played the Steelers tough, and now everybody's like, you know what? Let's do it. Just do it that way. That's my opinion. That's my opinion
And the
there.
Seahawks.
And the Seahawks. And I remember when the Saints went on their Super Bowl when they was 13-0. Who was the first team that gave them their first loss? It was Dallas. So I
Remember
mean,
that night? I went clean.
yeah. So I mean, as much as I dislike the Cowboys because I lost the bet this season, a lot of teams when a undefeated team or one loss team plays Dallas, a lot of people watch because somehow Dallas turns on that switch and they play good against a one loss team or undefeated team. It just happens. It really does. Yeah,
I got a
that's pretty much
quick
what it
sec-
is.
I got a quick just message, and it's from Des tweet, and it says, "Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call it a quit for the rest of the season. I can't deal with this.
Oh,
So is
come on,
that
Des.
does that mean retirement?
I'm guessing just for the season. I don't know what's going on, but that's the last. That's the last tweet.
Wow. I
I
don't think
need
he's
you to
going.
do your thing. I need you to do your thing, Tyler. You need to
Yeah. I,
dig in
wow.
deep on
Tyler,
that
you
one.
need to give us a 411. What do you make of that tweet? I heard you got
Yeah.
the mojo, so make it.
I,
So what you make of that tweet?
I think he's a little upset right now because he really wanted to play against the Cowboys and show Dallas basically what they missing out on. I don't know how many opportunities he was going to get,
Hmm.
but I think he's just talking kind of emotional right now. As hard as he's worked to get back in the league, I don't think he's going to get just up and quit after testing positive for COVID.
You know what he sound like? You know what he sound like? He sound like Randy Moss. When Dallas passed over Randy Moss and he went to Dallas and you saw what Randy Moss did. I think Dez
Why
was
are you
trying to do
bringing
that
up
same thing
Why are you bringing up that negativity?
Horrible.
because that was the greatest game I ever saw. That was the greatest game I ever saw. You know, as a 16, 17-year-old kid
Woo!
watching this guy, because I said it plenty of times that Randy Moss should have been a Cowboy first. And when Jerry Jones said that, he passed over him, that's the reason why Dez Bryant got drafted by the Cowboys because Jerry Jones like I'm not gonna miss on this great receiver because I remember the last time I passed on a great receiver and you saw what happened. So I mean, the Randy Moss effect took effect in Arlington. So I mean, and I hate it for him because I know, like you said, he worked so hard. He came back from
Yeah.
a Achilles tear. He wants to play, and what better place to play than the place that made you a star, which is Dallas. Because,
He's
like I
just
said,
talking. He's emotional
He's
right
just
now.
he's emotional.
talking. Yeah, he's
Well, I
just
mean, like I said,
emotional.
we all know Dez is emotional because I mean, I said it plenty of times, and a lot of people say he was a crybaby. He wasn't. He was just showing passion. The same people that said Dez Bryant was a crybaby are the same ones that pinned to Tom Brady when he becomes a crybaby. Because we all see Tom Brady become a crybaby, and what they say about Tom Brady, oh, he's emotional, he's a warrior, he plays passionate. You can't say that about Dez. Because right now, before he got hurt,
No,
I had Dez in my top five at that time with Julio, Antonio Brown, DeAndre Hopkins. Dez Bryant was right there in that
Des
mix
plays
before
with
he got
a
hurt.
lot of passion and a lot of heart, but a lot of they're
Absolutely.
interviewing him right now. Hold on, Des
So,
is on TV.
oh Lord. So, Tyler, you want to kind of take over a little bit? So,
Go for it.
I want to ask you a question because I
Yep.
asked Boomer Ladonna this last week. I want to ask you a question. What's the state of the Cowboys at this point to you in your eyes? What's the state of the Cowboys at this point?
kind of like a reset year. I think this year is pretty much a wash. The fact that no coaches got fired just
Mm-hmm.
let me need to know anything you need to know. They're going to ride this season out. I think it's pretty evident they're not making the playoffs. So they're just going to play these last few games, 2 games back. I don't see them. I know the Giants, they have probably the toughest schedule in the division. So it's going to come down between that and the football team. But as I mentioned before, the fact that they didn't fire anybody after this historically bad season, they're just washing it and trying to go back to the drawing board next season as soon as that comes back.
Okay. Okay.
If he
So
can.
at this so at this point, do you think Mike McCarthy deserves a second chance to coach?
I'm gonna be honest, man. At the beginning of the season, I was like that. I said, with a shortened training camp, but as the season progressed, and all these teams had shortened training camps, I
Mm-hmm.
saw a lot of dumb coaching decisions out of this entire staff. If I was Jerry, I would get rid of everybody because it doesn't look like he's competent. There was a lot of games Dallas should have won, should have been in, but because of coaching decisions, they wasn't. Just look at the Thanksgiving game. You had a chance
Yeah.
to be right there in the division, but because of these stupid fourth down, fourth and inches, you're throwing the ball with Andy Dalton type plays. That's all on coaching. But it's been so much as that throughout the season, it almost seemed like McCarthy is kind of over his head at this moment. But
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Jones is, their ego is big as the state of Texas. He's not
Mm-hmm. Yes,
gonna
it is.
admit he's wrong and get rid of coaches. So everybody will be
Yeah.
back next year.
You see how long he was with? You see how long he was with the clapper? He had the
Oh
clapper
my
for a
God.
minute.
He was 2,200 years, it felt like.
Forever.
A
So
quick, someone asked a question. Do y'all think the winner of the NFC East will win a playoff game?
Nope.
Yes,
honestly, you know what? Honestly, I will say this.
yes,
It could happen. I mean, look at the
they
Seahawks when they
have
knocked
already.
off when they knocked off the Saints. It could happen. Am I saying it's going to happen? Probably not. But you got to look at it like this: the regular season and the playoff season are totally different.
Playoff
Mhm.
different.
Like I said before, look at what the 9-7 Giants did to the 15-1 Packers at Lambeau. It happens. I mean, it happens. So I mean, am I going to put money on the NFC team winning the playoff game? Absolutely not. But have I seen stranger things happen in the playoffs? Absolutely.
I
Yeah,
would give the
absolutely.
Giants a better shot of knocking someone off than Washington because of the
Well,
way their defense is.
you know the history with the Giants. The Giants limped it to the playoffs, and next thing you know, they're raising the Lombardi. So I
Right.
mean,
That was a
Hmm.
whole
yeah.
different
So,
coaching staff, though.
like they just go in there and they get some of that Michael Jordan special juice, and they just come out a whole different team. You know. So, but my question, I got
Seahawks
another question for you
rotate
guys. I got another question for you
and
guys.
Daniel Jones. So I
Well, they
think
got.
with Washington, I think Washington can be the team. Alex Smith has playoff experience, and we saw it with the Seahawks. You can be under 500 as long as you have the home game. We saw the greatest run in playoff history with that 7-9 Seahawks team beating Drew Brees and the Super Bowl champs. So it's happened twice already. I think teams that are under 500 that have won the division are 2-0 in the playoffs. The
They don't
home
have
game
nothing to lose. They
matters.
really
And
don't. They don't
you don't
have
have
nothing to
nothing to
lose.
lose. And
They don't have nothing to
home
lose.
field home field advantage is not an advantage this season.
It's not. It's not because, like I said before, when the 9-7 Giants went and beat the 15-1 Packers in Lambeau, that pretty much killed the home field advantage thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know everybody said the Patriots had decent home field advantage, but I've seen the Patriots lose at home, even when they had to buy. So I mean, it happens. Like
Yes, yes, yeah, it happened.
it happens.
It
So,
happened.
but my question to you guys, to you, Tyler, Ladonna, and Boom, y'all gonna have a high draft pick this upcoming season. Where do you think the Cowboys should go as far as drafting? Where should they go? Should they go offensive? I know Boom said defense or offensive
Defense.
line because of Tyron Smith is pretty much not the same player he was. Where do you think that the Cowboys should go as far as the draft?
Fire Jerry Jones as GM.
That should
That's
be
one.
number one.
That part,
Well, that's
that
one.
part.
That's one. Yeah, that's
That should
one.
be number one.
That should be number one. Yeah. But
And then hire.
I thought Steven was in charge though.
But we know who pulls the strings. It's
Hmm.
Jared.
Hmm.
And besides from that, if you're gonna hire a GM, be have that GM be outside of the Jones family. Have no connections to either any of the Joneses family. He needs to be completely independent, and that way he can build a team up with the right coaches, with the right players, and draft the right uh, players to fit whatever coaching style he gets. If that doesn't happen, we're gonna be back in this 888 boat.
Yeah,
Ladonna Tyler, you want to chime in?
man. As much as I want to go defense, I think we need to look at offensive tackle. I've been saying that for years. Tyron Smith is his best days are behind him.
Man,
And
Tyler, where you been at the last few years? We've been saying
Yeah.
the same
Who
Boo,
thing.
hey
hasn't
look,
been
hey look.
who
They've been
hasn't been
saying the same thing. Like Tyron Smith is not the same player that he was about 4 or 5 years ago.
I mean, if you look at it, the number one asset for Dallas is the offense, and it starts. Everything goes around Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott. You need to protect him. With Tyron
Hmm.
Smith going down every single season, you need to make sure you improve that offensive line in the offseason. The tackle should be 1A. Might
Yeah,
need to look at a
exactly.
center as well.
Exactly, because I know from years past, the Cowboys always had a dominant offensive line. That's why Dak Prescott did what he did. That's why Zeke kept getting fed. That's what it was. So I mean, that was the state. I mean, even go way back when they had Emmitt Smith, that offensive line with Larry Allen and all those guys and Moose Johnson blocking. Dallas was always known for the offensive line to protect the quarterback and the running game and keeping the quarterback clean.
Marco Murray.
DeMarco Murray, yeah, DeMarco Murray is the reason why Philly gave him $50 million to do absolutely nothing. So I mean, but here's a question right here, and Ladonna might want to fight this one. Somebody said they would trade Tank Lawrence.
Thank you.
Ladonna, do you want to fight or not?
Thank you for saying that.
Woo.
I see Ladonna's face over there. She might want to hand out whoever that was the skippity paps because we all know on this panel that Tank is Ladonna's guy. So,
That
Ladonna,
comment.
do you want to
Thank
speak
you.
on that? Do you want to speak on that or no?
I'm gonna let
Thank you,
Tyler
man.
speak on it, and let me get my woosah moment on because I
Go ahead,
feel my
Tyler.
cheeks
Tyler, go ahead.
getting red.
Hey,
Go ahead,
I'm just
Tyler. Say what you got to say, bro.
I'm just gonna be real here. Everyone
Don't
who
get kicked.
break down, everybody that break down Tank Lawrence say he is still playing at an elite level. I don't know how many years of elite level he has though. So if you
And
can
who
get
that was
something
behind
better
him?
out of him, I say do it.
That's my boy. That's my boy.
You got to do it.
That's my man's in there.
Okay,
I really
His
and
don't
then the
best
think he
years,
same,
has about
his
two or
best
three
years,
more elite years left.
his
and then the
best years,
same guy.
his best years
Go
was
ahead, boom.
his best years was before he signed the contract.
Oh,
That
I
was it.
agree with that. So yeah, if you
I
can
agree
get
with
a
that.
Well,
couple of
okay.
picks
So
out of
what?
him, man, a King's
But I
X,
will, and I will
do
say this, and maybe you can agree. Somebody and decided, and somebody, I agree with it. People feel like he is playing better ever since Randall is back.
I mean, he is, but if there was an opportunity where you can get multiple draft picks for Tank Lawrence, I say jump on because we have so many other holes on the defense. So if you can fill those other holes by getting rid of someone with to be completely honest, who's getting overpaid on his contract, you
Yeah.
got to take advantage of that.
And who do you think that? Oh, what's his name? Vanderish will be back.
Yeah, he'll be back. They love him. Like
I know
they
they
are
do.
in love. Yeah, he's not going anywhere. But I'm telling you, Jalen though, it's up to Jalen to take that pay cut. Oh, he might be on the chopping block.
I'm a woosah because I love
Yeah,
Jalen too. I love Jalen's story. I love everything about Jalen. So
but
I
it's a
have to.
business. It's a
It's a business,
business.
Yeah.
and I get
It's
it.
a business.
But I still haven't
especially,
been back to the Cowboy Stadium since they what they did to Diz. So it is
yeah.
what it is. But I understand.
Okay, Sam has a question. Do you think Lawrence is worth a first round pick?
Fuck, fuck no. Maybe his contract. Yeah, his
Yeah,
contract. Yes, as a player, no.
Agreed.
yeah.
Yeah, if we get a
Well,
first rounder out of Lawrence, that's a steal.
Take
I,
it.
I, I've seen Stranger Things, and Sean said it.
We
I
don't
said it. I
want
said. I
Trevor.
said. I said it
We're
last
not
We
week.
don't. We
we're not
don't
I,
taking
want Trevor.
Trevor.
but that's what I said last week. We all know that Jerry Jones is Jerry Jones, and he gonna do some stuff like something like. I'm not saying it'll happen, but I've seen him do. I seen him do some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like
Jets
it's
got that
Jerry.
pick on
It's
lock.
Jerry. So I mean, it's Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is Jerry Jones, and like Tyler said, Jerry Jones is gonna do Jerry Jones things. So I mean,
Oh,
Get off
I
my
wouldn't be.
road.
don't
I
think he
wouldn't be
haven't thought
surprised.
about it.
I wouldn't be surprised if I wake up and they be like the Cowboys got the number one pick because they gave a king's ransom to the Jets for
Yeah,
to get Trevor Lawrence.
do not think he haven't thought about that.
Oh, I'm
'Cause
sure. I'm absolutely, positively,
Jerry,
1,000% sure that he's thought about it.
yeah, Jerry think about ticket sales before he do W's.
Oh
See,
yeah.
Oh yeah. And that's
That's
the
the
Oh
problem.
yeah.
problem.
we're
That's
talking
the
about
problem.
quarterbacks. I just want to say this: we should sign Dak Prescott, but we have to be careful with Dak Prescott because we don't know what type of player he's going to be coming back from this type of injury, and will he be ready by day one of next season? Which I don't think he will be. If he is, he ain't going to be running. So he's
So my,
going to, as soon as he gets these pressure, he's just going down. I don't think he's
so
going to have that mentality to run like he has in the past. So we have to be careful as to what type of player is he going to be, and do we have the right personnel around him for that new type of Dak that's going to come out from this injury.
right. So two things I want to say. Two things I want to say. Number one, I want to ask you this. I want to ask you this. You guys this question. What do you think Dak Prescott is worth when he comes back? Number two, I know I see Sean said they're not going to get Trevor Lawrence, and Brian said they don't want no Cowboys. I'm gonna need y'all to go on Wikipedia or ESPN and Google Jerry Jones and see his track record as far as pulling off crazy shit. Y'all need to go and go do your history. I'm telling you, Jerry Jones is
Herschel
is a
Walker.
maverick. I said two owners are crazy. One is passed in Al Davis. Al Davis was a renegade. Jerry Jones was not far behind. So y'all really need to do your homework on Jerry Jones because Jerry Jones is crazy enough to do stuff like this because what they say, he's all about money. He's all about putting butts in the seats.
Yeah.
So if he has to do that, he has to do drastic measures to get that. He will do that. So I'm gonna need y'all to do your homework on Jerry Jones real quick, right quick. Like do that real quick and then get back to me. Like I'll be here for about a couple more minutes. So y'all let me know.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't put it past him. He
He wouldn't put it
will
past him.
he will call the Jets and see what they'll take for that
Right,
number one overall pick.
Yeah,
I
watch
just
him
don't
play
think
Dak.
right.
yeah. Yeah, I
And
don't think
Sean,
the Jets will do it though.
look up that Herschel Walker trade that the Cowboys get and what they did to get him. So yes, the Falcons have pulled out a bigger trade, but look up that Herschel Walker trade that the Cowboys did when Jerry Jones first got in the league. They get back with me
That
because
basically
that's
won
how
us.
because that's how they got Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and Michael Irvin and all those guys.
Yep, that started the
So
dynasty.
it really did because the Cowboys went from 1-15 to being Super Bowl champions in a couple years. So
And the
I
Vikings
mean,
were never the same after that.
I've never seen, like I said, and Vic and Julio, yes, but that's not bigger than what the Cowboys did. It's not. They got three Hall of Fame players in one trade. Falcons
And
can't even compare with that. And I'm a Falcons fan. I'm a Falcons fan. But the Cowboys got three Hall of Fame players in one trade. Falcons never done that. Ever. Never. So get back with me on that. You can inbox me after that. We could talk about it. But you can't tell me a bigger trade the Falcons did that the Cowboys did to get three Hall of Fame players and three Super Bowls in a span of about 4 or 5 years.
Hmm.
You can't at all.
crazy.
So That's all I gotta say about that. So I had to go back a little bit. So that's all I gotta say about the cow. That's all I gotta say about the Cowboys. So I mean,
Okay, we keep going back to them, and then we need to move forward. We need to move forward. Let's talk about your Atlanta game.
what the fact that we blew it again? The fact that we blew it again. I mean, that's all. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say about my Falcons. We need a whole rebuild. That's all I gotta say. We need a whole rebuild. I'm not saying trade. And be prepared. Be prepared. I'm about to get all the Falcon smoke at this point. I'm about to get all the Falcon smoke. At this point right now, the way that our team is playing right now, we got to do a full rebuild. I don't know where it needs to start. I don't know where it needs to begin. We did when we fired Quinn and Dimitrov. We fired them. Uh, but we got to do something. And this is what I said. This is what I said. I said that if the price is right for Julio Jones to get traded, trade him,
Ooh.
trade him, trade him. I'll say it, trade him. Because at this point he's on the other side of 30. He can't stay healthy. I mean, he's one of the best receivers in the game, and I applaud what he's done for Atlanta over the years. But at this point, if the price is right, I'm not saying trade him for like what Houston did with DeAndre Hopkins when they said, they traded him for a Super Nintendo and a pack of knowledge. I'm not saying that. I'm saying trade him for the right deal. Like if they give him a if a team comes to Atlanta and gives us a good deal, trade him, trade him. I mean, what's the backlash in that if we do trade him?
How many
Give us a
years
good
is
deal. I mean, like I said, Julio is a great player. He's a great player. He's the best receiver in the game. And I know a lot of people say trade Matt Ryan first, but Matt Ryan is a bigger salary cap hit than Julio is to me. So I would say yes. I would say yes. I would say it. I mean, why not? Why not? Get some value back for a great receiver in his prime. I would say in his prime. He can still produce. He can still play. Trade him. Trade him right now because he's a bigger salary hit. He's not a bigger salary hit than Matt Ryan. If Matt Ryan gets traded, we're basically like what the Eagles are with Carson Wentz. We're going to have to pay a lot of money to trade him or release him outright. So I would say trade Julio first because Calvin Ridley has shown he could be capable of being a number one receiver in the league. Russell Gage, even though he has his inconsistencies, he could be a solid number two. We still got Hayden Hurst on a cheap deal. We could definitely draft a receiver out the draft because there's plenty of receivers coming out the draft who can be that slot guy. So my question to you guys, because I know I'm about to get the smoke. As soon as I get off the show, I'll probably go get a lot of inboxes and a lot of smoke for saying this. What do you got? Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think I'm crazy for saying trade Julio if the price is right? What do you guys think?
If the press is right, the
Trade
press is
Matt
right.
Ryan.
And I'm telling you, we'll take Matt Ryan right now. We'll give you Dak. One
And
on
you
one,
won't
just
win any.
straight up trade. One on one, just trade. One Dak for Matt.
Matt Ryan, unless y'all gonna take on that $70 million cap hit, Matt Ryan's staying in Atlanta.
Well,
Yeah, he ain't going
40,
nowhere.
He's
you're
not
paying
going
43,
nowhere.
44 to Dak anyway. So
Well, your wife already tried to get Matt Ryan to come to Atlanta with cookies and stuff. But I think Matt Ryan's gonna stay where he's
if
at.
that's what it takes, I'll make cookies too.
Yeah,
Where's
Sean, I know,
from a
I know,
gimmick?
I
Right
know,
there
Sean,
from a
Sean,
gimmick.
Sean. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate, but I'm just being real here. I
And
think
he
that it's
asked, "What do you think you could get for Julio?"
what I like. I said we could get a first round pick. It might not be an early first round pick. It could get a late round pick, maybe a third or fourth round pick, maybe another player, maybe another a player, depending on what a defensive player, a good defensive player. That's what I think. I think that would be very, very suitable for a Julio trade. I really do. So I mean, exactly what Brian said. Get what you can for him. Get more picks and build the Falcons back up. That's what I'm saying.
Really,
Get the
Jalen?
va- get the value that you can out of Julio right now to get a uh, a solid, a solid. Like I said, I'd rather just do that now than wait until Julio's broken down and he's no good. Then we can't do nothing about it. So I say right now, I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying trade him now. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying trade him for if the price is right. Everybody got a price. Trade
Mhm.
him for the right price. Trade him for the right price.
Yeah, and I was looking at them cap hits. He's more easier to trade than Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people
Yeah,
say trade Matt Ryan, but Matt Ryan cap hit
it-
is like 60, $70 million.
man, it's 41 next year and then
It-
36 the year after.
exactly.
So yeah, I don't know too many teams that's going to be willing to take on that cap hit.
Except the Cowboys, but I know they're not going to trade him for $70 million.
Yeah,
You're not
no,
Yeah,
going to trade him for 70
yeah.
million.
No, we're not.
Exactly. So I mean, if the price is right, trade him. Would I be mad if they did? Absolutely. But do I know that the NFL is a business? Again, absolutely.
So do
So,
you
but go
think?
ahead, Tyler. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go
Oh
ahead,
no, you're
Tyler.
good. I was going to say, do you think Ridley is the number one option?
Absolutely. He's shown it. He's shown it. When Julio was out with the hamstring injury, Calvin really shown that he could be a number one receiver. He's shown it. You see what he did against Marshall Lattimore in that Saints game? He was eating
Hmm.
them. He was eating them. Like, he's shown to be a number one. You know what? It kind of reminds me when Julio first came in the league and we had Roddy White, and Roddy White was number one guy, and then it kind of transitioned over to Julio a bit. It's the same situation with Julio and Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley shown he could be a number one guy, and like I said, as inconsistent as he
Now,
is,
we never did.
Russell Gage has shown he could be a number two guy. So
You know,
I think either we could go and get a number three guy at the draft. We could easily pick one in free agency.
Tip
I
drill.
think I think Calvin really could easily be a number one guy if we decide to trade Julio. I
What? You
wholeheartedly
got
agree.
an interception? This is a miracle.
So
Tip
Oh wow,
I
incredible.
wholeheartedly agree with the fact that if we do trade Julio, Calvin really can definitely solidify his role as a number one receiver in our
I
offense.
think like I said, I think he's
how
doing it
much
right
of
now.
it? How much of it
Absolutely, exactly.
Julio Jones is giving him the space to produce? Because I look at someone like Sherling Shepherd when Odell got traded. I mean, before Odell got traded, he was putting up numbers as a number two receiver, and when Odell got traded, he's not been the same. And when it's different when you're the number one receiver and all the attention is going your way.
But you
So how
got
much is Calvin Ridley's numbers because the attention is focused on Julio?
But Paul, look at it like this. Look at it like this. When Julio wasn't playing, Calvin really got their attention and he still produced as a number one guy. That's what I'm saying. Odell was still
Yeah,
playing when Sterling Sherper was there. I'm talking about the fact that when Julio was out with the hamstring injury, Calvin Ridley still put numbers up. And even
And you
when
got to
Julio,
base it off your quarterback too.
you got to base it off your quarterback as well. So I mean, do I think Calvin Ridley comes from a very good program in Alabama, the same program that produced Julio Jones? I think that Calvin Ridley has more than enough tools to be a number one guy. That's just my opinion. And he has shown it when Julio hasn't played. So if Calvin Ridley could still do that at that point in his career, and he's still, I mean, Julio is on the other side of 30. Calvin Ridley's like what, 25, 26. He hasn't even hit his prime yet. So I think with the fact of the matter is he's producing with Julio not even playing. That lets me further know that Ridley is very comfortable being a number one receiver.
Yeah, I think
I agree.
they probably should take advantage of that last year when the draft core was so deep at the wide receiver. They
Oh
could
yeah.
have easily
Oh
found
yeah,
that second or
definitely.
third option.
I think so. I think so. But like I said, Julio's pretty much he's a top five receiver. Even with the injuries, he's still a top five receiver. But at this juncture in his career, he's old. Considered by NFL standards, he's very old. So I mean, I don't expect him to get traded. But if I'm the general manager, I would definitely like put the hook out there and be like, hey, we're gonna shop our star receiver. What can I get for this guy?
I tell you what, if I'm the 49ers, I hop on that trade.
You know what? You know what?
I hop right on that.
You know what? I would love for him to go to 49ers, but their head coach, I hate his ass. So no, he was not going to San Francisco. He is not
Well,
going there.
he would know him.
Huh?
I said he would know him.
Exactly. He
He,
knows
I
the
mean, he
If
would
system
know him. Absolutely.
he
perfect.
Yeah,
visit,
absolutely, he would. He would.
I
But I would say this. If they do trade him to the 49ers, I would expect a decent amount of picks or a decent amount of players. Like that's just me. So but yeah, I would definitely put that out there. So and also I will also say they need to get rid of our OC. He is trash. I told everybody that when they rehired him back, and everybody was talking about that was a good hire, but they don't remember what he did the first time he came to Atlanta. And when he was a head coach at Tampa, he's the equivalent of trying to reheat cold French fries in the microwave. He is not good. He is not. Because if you saw what he did in the Saints game, you saw what he did in the Saints game when the Falcons were actually had a chance to win. And I don't. It was third. It was like we only had 2 yards to get the first down, and I don't know what plays he was trying to call. But all I know is I looked up. All I know is I looked up, and we're kicking the field goal. That man has to go. He has to go. He is absolute garbage. He is a horrible coach. Like somebody, like my homeboy told me, he is an actor portraying a coach. He doesn't know how to coach. His playbook is outdated. Like I said, there were no adjustments made in that game at all. So I really think that the Falcons need to start. Arthur Blank really needs to look at his team and say, "What can I do to make this team a contender?" You got to blow it up. You really got to blow it up. You
I
really
think they're
do.
gonna clean house with their coaching staff,
They
man.
have to. They have to. Like
It's gonna
start all the
come.
way down. Like the head coach, all the assistants. I know Raheem Morris is doing a pretty decent job, but he got to go. Especially the fact that he vouched for Dirk Carter to be our OC. Oh, he definitely got to go because Dirk Carter is terrible as an offensive coordinator. He's terrible. He's just a terrible. I don't know how the hell he got a job. Honestly, I don't know how he got a job because if you watch the game against the Saints, I noticed no adjustments. I noticed no play. As much as I dislike Shanahan, at least Shanahan drew up plays to get our players open. It just seemed like I seen the same broken record with Carter running the offense. That's just my opinion. Like there was no adjustments at all. And the fact of the matter is, if Drew Brees was playing, we would have lost by a lot more if Brees was playing and healthy.
I don't know about that.
I do. I really do because if you watch the game, watch the game. Go watch the game. There were no adjustments made. He just put out four, run them downfield. He didn't use the running game. Todd Gurley, even though he was kind of hurt all the time, he was hurt most of that game. He didn't really run a lot of running plays in that game. I think the running backs only carried the ball 14, 15 times. You're not gonna win. You're not gonna win games if you're not running the ball. I get it. You're trying to pass the ball and all that stuff. That's cool. But you got to run the ball sometimes. If your running game's not, especially against the Saints defense, was actually pretty good this season. You got to mix it up. If you're not mixing it up, you're not going to win, especially against a team that is hot as the Saints.
Do you have a
I
coach in
think
mind
Falcons
who you
quarterbacks
want
look
to take
really
over?
good. They're 8-0 their last 2 years when Drew Brees is out.
That,
I don't think he's that good in my opinion. He's just a dinky do type of quarterback. I mean, he won a Super Bowl 11 years ago. He's just throwing the ball at the line of scrimmage.
well, my thing is this. My thing is this. There's two things I want to say. I'm Tyler. I'm gonna ask you a question. Number one. The reason why the Saints are still winning without their star quarterback is coach. And Sean Payton is a very underrated coach. Nobody talks about the fact that he's a good coach. He's a very good coach because he lost Drew Brees last season and this season, and he's 8-0. You know, Bridgewater was 5-0. You got what's the guy's name? Tyson Hill. He's
Taysom
three
Hill.
and 0. He's 8-0. You got to go with coaching. You got to scheme your players to get open, and that's what Sean Payton is doing. He is scheming his players to get open. He is scheming to the best of his abilities of his players. But he knows Taysom Hill is not a great quarterback by NFL standards, but the guy knows how to scheme players to get open. That's the reason why the Saints are so consistent because Sean Payton is a hell of a coach. I know everybody talks about Dennis Allen and the defense and how they turned it around, but the thing is when you have an offense that can move the chains, that can throw the ball, that can score points, it makes the defensive coordinator's job a hell of a lot easier when your offense is scoring points. Number two, you said that Tyler, you said, do I have a coach in mind? There's one that I would love to have, but I think he's going to probably stay in Kansas City because he's probably going to be the next head
Mm,
coach when Andy Reid retires. And there's Eric Bieniemy. I would love to have him as our coach because the way that he's for one, he's following Andy Reid, who I think is probably the quarterback whisperer of the league. Him and John Gruden, they know how to mold quarterbacks to make them great, and he knows how to run a good offense. And number two, me personally, I would love to see I would love to see black coaches thrive. I mean, I look at Tony Dungy, I look at Mike Tomlin, I look at Brian Flores down in Miami. You know what I'm saying? I look at these guys and I see the success they have. I want to see that with the Falcons. You know, I know everybody says Raheem Morris, but he's still kind of playing to that Dan Quinn role. He's not really a coach. He's just doing what he has to do at this point because he doesn't even know if he's going to have the job. I would love to hear Eric Bieniemy as a coach, and I would love to have. And another one I would love to have Rex Ryan come because I know Rex Ryan
mm.
would shape that defense. So them the two I would love to have. But right now, I'm not the one signing checks. I'm not the one I'm not the one that's making the decisions. But I would love to have either one of those two as my coach.
Yeah, Bieniemy, he was really my first option because they need a culture
Hmm.
change, like a big time culture change
Big,
down there in
deep, deep,
Atlanta.
deep. Yeah.
And I don't know about Rex too much. I love
Mm-hmm.
Rex, but he just does not care about the offense. And Atlanta is an offensive team. I think if you can't get Bieniemy, if everything fails with Michigan, I think Harbaugh was a hell of an NFL coach.
You know what? You know what? Harbaugh intrigues me a little bit because I think he had success in the NFL, but at the same time,
He's
is he
good with veteran quarterbacks.
what's his buyout though? I know his buyout's pretty high, and I'm pretty sure we'll have to pay that to get him there. So,
Well,
are
uh,
the Falcons really that desperate to sign to buy him out to bring him to Atlanta?
well, you got to think about in college too, man. Those boosters can help buy you out, and
That's true too.
they don't really want them there in Michigan right now. The way
Yeah,
it's looking,
they're
so
ready to have
Yeah,
them
yeah,
go.
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. And they just canceled the game with Ohio State. So I mean,
exactly.
that's a
Yeah, it's
thought.
not
I
looking
would
too
love to
good.
have Jim Harbaugh there because you see what he did with Kaepernick. He made Kaepernick a MVP type quarterback.
Yeah,
And you
he's
got a guy,
really good.
and you got a guy like Matt Ryan who still has some juice left.
Yeah,
That could work too. So yeah, definitely Jim Harbaugh was definitely on the list. But right now, between me, I would think Rex Ryan he would pretty much focus on the defense
That's the other
and
name I was thinking of, Sam Vincent
I'm
Sherrod.
gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. He's pretty much he's good on the defensive side. He'll probably let the OC run that side of the ball. We all know Eric Bieniemy is learning from a great offensive coaching mind and Andy Reid. And sadly, yeah. But I heard that Detroit is trying to get him to come there, so he might be out of the running too. Because Detroit, the this is how bad it is in Detroit. The
hmm.
politicians have tweeted personally to get that guy from San Francisco to come there, so he might not even be in the conversation with us.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what Atlanta
Very
does,
interesting.
man.
So, like I said, we can only start from the bottom. We really got to because I think with this roster, with a few tweaks here and there, I think the roster that the Falcons have, we can pretty much compete with anybody in the league. But like you said, we gotta blow it up and start from scratch. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if the Saints win the Super Bowl, I'm deactivating all my social media because I do not want to hear my dad's mouth if they do.
Well,
Oh,
that division tough,
what?
man. And don't count out the Panthers. Like
The
There
Bucks
goes
too.
the
I'm
quarterback.
yeah, the Bucks.
Even though Tom Brady is still old, he you know how just like I said with come playoff Aaron Rodgers come playoff mode. Tom Brady the same way you put in the playoffs, he's a whole different player come playoff time.
Well, I just look at the Bucks, man, as like a 2 year window, and then
Oh yeah.
it's gonna crash. But Carolina is extremely young.
Hmm.
Atlanta might rebuild. So if you're looking at teams of the future, you can see New Orleans not gonna fall off. Even if Breeze is gone after this year, they're not falling off. So you got to watch
Definitely.
out for New Orleans and definitely watch out for Carolina. I love what they're doing over there.
Definitely, they got a good head coach. They got a Teddy Bridgewater, who's a redemption story in my eyes. They got defensive rookie of the year, who could pretty much be defensive player of the year in a couple of years, Jeremy Chin. They're building definitely. They're definitely building. So I agree with you on that one. Definitely agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
So
Lamar Jackson basically went up the middle untouched. I blamed LVE. Uh, yeah. Um, that's exactly what we said not to happen. Well, shouldn't happen. It did exactly.
it happens, like I said Sunday when I was frustrated with my Falcons, it was just like, people was hitting me up and it was like, hey, your team lost again. I was like, what you want me to do? I mean, it is what it is.
Tyler has to leave. So, again, thank you for coming. But shout out all your stuff again where people can find
Oh,
you.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Anybody want to keep up with me? The best way to go is either Instagram, Sports and Culture Sports Media, or Facebook. We put all our information there first. Thank y'all for having me on. This was fun. I
Hey
definitely
man,
would
hey,
love to
hey
come
look,
back
hey
on.
look, hey look. Like I tell all our guests, you're more than welcome to come back. If you want to come back and just talk sports with us and talk about the Cowboys, you're more than welcome to come back, man. Definitely.
Yeah, anytime y'all willing to have me, man, I'm all about it. I appreciate it.
No, no problem, man. Enjoy your night, man.
All right, tell my man, thank you.
All right,
Oh,
man.
thank
Good day.
you.
All right, y'all.
Yeah, good day. So, but all right. So I mean, I appreciate him coming on. He really has his knowledge. So I'm definitely gonna follow
I'm
him on
telling you,
Instagram.
that's my like I said, my info. If I need Cowboy, especially Cowboys info, I go to him.
Yeah, definitely gonna keep tabs on him. I'm gonna definitely follow him on Instagram and stuff like that. But anything else you want to talk about as far as NFL wise? Is I pretty much talked about
We're gonna
my
talk
team
about
and what
the
we need
Eagles
to
real
do.
quick because the Eagles just benched their quarterback.
$140 million problem, right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna post that. I don't know if anybody saw, but let's post that what Adam Schefter posted earlier. Signed that 4-year extension through 2024.
Mm,
That
mm, mm,
guaranteed
mm.
money is, woo, Lord Jesus, 109.9 million.
Guaranteed. And if he gets released in 2021 or 2022, he is owed almost $80 million. So to everybody that said that Matt Ryan should be cut, this is why we're not going to cut him. So I'm gonna need y'all to get that out your head that Matt Ryan needs to be cut, because if we cut him, this is what we have to go through. What the Eagles are going through. So I mean, that's why I said before, and I'll say it again. If you want to trade or cut somebody, Julio will probably be the first casualty to go as far as superstars. It would be Julio will go first. So get that. Matt Ryan needs to be traded. Matt Ryan needs to be cut out your head, because unless you got $80 million in your pocket, it's not happening. It's not.
Yeah, it's
So
not. And they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. And the Eagles would still have to probably pay for most of that. They would have to eat it.
yeah.
And they're
Uh
not going to.
yeah, Sam, we're gonna get his Instagram. I'm gonna look for it and then I'll let you know, okay?
I just sent it to them.
Okay. And yes, we gotta keep Matt Ryan. Not because, he's still a great quarterback, but his tag to cut him or trade him is steep. So
It's not as
uh,
simple as what people think.
it's not. It really isn't. That's why I said when a lot of these people, when they talk about cutting and trading players, I just tell them basically go put on Madden on your respective game system, put it on rookie level, and take the salary cap off. You could trade and cut anybody you want. Anybody you want. Anybody. So I mean, do that. Like, I mean, it's not as simple as just cutting or trading somebody, because you got to think about the money. Because unlike the NBA, who has a luxury tax, and unlike MLB, who could kind of stretch the provision of you cutting or releasing player, the NFL has a hard salary cap. So if you do something with a player who is owed that much, It's going to reflect on your books. That's why you see a lot of these NFL teams not really trading people right away. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's y'all really gotta think about this. I know me personally. I think Matt Ryan still got some juice left, but I know a lot of you guys want Matt Ryan to be
That guy,
gone. That
that
guy,
guy,
that guy right there,
that guy,
that guy right
Terry.
there, that
That's who
guy,
I'm married.
that
that
guy. Yeah,
guy.
him. So I mean, I definitely, if it was up to me, if I had a choice, if I had a gun to my head and I had to trade a player right away from the Falcons, Julio would be first. That's just my opinion. So that's why we don't want to do what the Eagles are doing because right now, and I'll say this about Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz was a pretty good. Carson Wentz was a pretty good.
Now you want
He
to
was a
see it. D- Get off my screen. This is why stop it.
he's a pretty good quarterback. See, I lost my train of thought dealing with that. Carson Wentz was a pretty decent quarterback before he had the ACL injury. He was an MVP caliber quarterback. And then you saw him start to regress because it could have been the injury to his ACL. It could have been a lot of things. It could have been the fact that the Eagles didn't give him shit to work with. It could have been a lot of things. But you're seeing why the Falcons are not so quick to trade or release Matt Ryan because we don't want to be what the Eagles are now. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, y'all need to chill on that trading Matt Ryan thing because we don't want to be what the Eagles are. And like I said, my brother-in-law just checked in. He said the same thing about the Eagles. I had a lot of Eagle fans say they were happy that Jalen Hurts is starting. So us Falcons fans don't want that problems, and I'm sure the Cowboys fans with Dak being hurt, they don't want them problems either. So I mean, it is what it is. That's the business. It's not. So
Thank
yeah.
you for that. Yes, thank you because I love Miss Maggie and I love fellow females that can talk shit. Uh, and you're ruining it for us, Karam. Karam. Hey, can you put your hands down? Because the TV hasn't caught up with that yet. I'm going to delete you off of here if you keep on playing around.
Leave him alone. He is just trying to prove his point. So, but
Um,
all I'm saying is that like Sam said it himself. Sam said it himself. Be careful what you wish for, because it is true. It's definitely true. Good
I
catch. That's a hell of a catch. Okay, back to what I was saying.
flag.
Offensive pass interference? No,
No.
nah. And I will say this about Gallup. He gets lost in the shuffle with C.D. Lamb and Amari Cooper. He's a pretty good receiver. I will say that. He's a pretty good receiver. Oh, defensive pass interference. He's a good player. He's a good player as well. Gallup is pretty good. So don't sleep on him either. I know
I love
he gets lost in the shuffle with C.D. Lamb and Amari Cooper, but he's a pretty damn good guy, good quarterback. So yeah, definitely.
I want to
So,
talk
but
about
that's
this
all I gotta say
NBA
about the NFL. Go ahead.
real
Go ahead.
quick. I want to talk about the restrictions. NBA is coming back. We all know about that. December 22nd. My
Go
boy,
Hawks. Go
that was just
Hawks.
Tyler. He posted this earlier, and it was basically, all the restrictions that they cannot do. And I think it's hilarious, to be honest.
I think it's
Uh,
bullshit. I think it's
it,
bullshit. I think it's absolute bullshit.
it's both because I think what I'm laughing at is the live entertainment because we all know what that means.
Yeah. Yeah, strip
Um,
clubs. Strip clubs. Yeah, strippers. Strippers.
damn
That's pretty
Lou,
much what it is, strippers.
damn Lou Pepper, wait, lemon pepper Lou, damn
Lemon
it.
pepper Lou. I'm trying to tell you, man, y'all. Shoot.
Yeah, but I
Go
get what
ahead,
they're
LD.
I get what they're trying to do, but like I said, when I saw this, I had a good chuckle.
I definitely did. I definitely did. Can I say something? This is all I want to say.
Go for it.
And I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of smoke for this one, but I made a long ass post about it Saturday because I definitely was in Dallas to see the Spence fight. And I know a lot of people inbox me saying, "Oh, why are you going to that? You know what's going on with the pandemic and stuff." Let me tell you something. I'ma live my life how the fuck I want to do. Okay? As long as I got my mask and my hand sanitizer and I'm following the protocol, if there's a live sports event that I want to go to, I'm gonna go. Okay? I'm gonna go. So to everybody that says that the NBA is I think the NBA is being too restrictive to me personally. I think it is. I think it is. I think it's being restricted because how you gonna tell a grown man to not go nowhere? Okay, as long as they're following proper
Th-
protocol, as long as they're following proper protocol and staying safe, they can do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want. Let them go. Okay, let them go do what they want. Like, and
Technically,
and
they
I
did.
and I know a lot of people gonna say, oh well, the NBA is paying millions of dollars, so they should do it. Yeah, you're right. At the same time, I get that, but at the same time, these people are human. These people play a game that we watch over and over and over again. Let them. They need a time to decompress. They need a time to decompress because the fact of the matter is they get chastised so much on social media. They get chastised so much by us fans. They need that outlet to be like, you know what? I'm just gonna chill out and just be like, I don't want to worry about the NBA. I don't want to worry about the people on social media. I just wanna chill. Do that. Let them do it. Let them do it. And Sean, you say you put others in danger. Hell, I could go. I'm getting myself. I'm putting myself in danger just by driving my car. I could get in an accident. I could eat. I could get food poisoning by eating a bad hamburger. The point of the matter is, death is inevitable. Shit's gonna happen. So unless somebody got a elixir that makes us live like back in the biblical days when Moses was living like a 973 years old, living past his age limit, it's inevitable. So when I see people chastising people for going out, but they're being safe, and people are chastising for going out, do what you do in your household. In your household, do what you do. You want to stay home? Fine. You want to be safe? As long as the people outside are safe and doing what they need to do, let them live. How's it affecting you if you're staying at home? Like, really? Like, how's it going to affect you? It's not. It's not going to affect you because everybody's going to die eventually from something. It might not even be corona. I might die from eating a bad piece of chicken from food poisoning. I might die because I might die. Like, what's the girl's name? The one that just passed.
Didn't she have
Matter of,
cancer?
she had cancer. But what about the matter of fact that too? What about your guy? What about your guy from Dallas who just collapsed for no reason? He just died for no reason. The
Yeah,
trainer from Dallas,
yeah.
he just died. He didn't have any kind of ailment. He didn't have any kind of sickness. He just passed away. He just passed away. So I mean, like, y'all need to chill. Y'all need to chill. So I will say this, and I'll probably be the only one to say this. The way the NBA came out with restrictions, I get it. You're trying to protect your investment. That's cool. You're paying billions of dollars to these players to be healthy and want to play. But you cannot tell a grown man to be like, hey, stay home. Don't do shit. Don't do nothing. Because everybody talk about, oh, they can have parties in their house. Yeah, they can. And then somebody's gonna get mad about that because like, oh, they're having parties at their house and they're not having masks and they're like, shut the fuck up. Just stay in your own lane and worry about your family instead of worry about somebody else. That's my thing. So the NBA, as much as I said I applaud the NBA, I said I applaud the NBA for doing what they did last year when they kept people in the bubble and everything and the rules and stuff. That I applaud them because the NFL and the MLB totally dropped the ball on that. But at the same time, you can't tell a grown man what to do especially a grown man with money. You see what James Harden? James Harden say, you know what? I'm gonna go chill for a couple of days before I go practice because I want to go out and do my thing before I go to practice. Is the NBA gonna punish him for that? They probably not. But I mean, this is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
This is what's gonna happen. And Brian, yeah, they said they follow the rules or it's back to the bubble. They don't. Honestly, I don't think it's gonna matter because if the players want to really play, they can play on Mars for all that care. They're gonna play. So I mean, that's just my opinion. My opinion is as long as you're safe out there, as long as you're following protocol, as long as you're not being reckless, why not? Because like I said, I went to the Spence fight, but I had my mask, I had the sanitizer. So me being an NBA, if I was an NBA player, I'd be totally pissed off about this because there's some things I want to do and I can't do it because the NBA is putting these restrictions on me. Yeah, I'd definitely be pissed off about it. That's just my opinion, though.
Yep. But we ran over on the NFL world,
My
and
bad. I'm sorry.
oh no, you're good. You're good. You're good. It was everybody, and I know that my husband wants to watch this game. I want to watch this game. Tariq has been getting on my last nerve. If that's
I
why I've been
try.
going.
Look, this is why I asked
Yeah.
y'all. This is why I asked y'all. Did y'all want to do it tonight? Because I know,
Oh yeah. No,
I
it's not so
know
much
the
the
Cowboys.
game. It's not so much the game. It's more Tariq. Tariq will not take his hand out of his pocket. He's been doing this since about 4 o'clock. And if you ask him to take his hand out of his pocket, he will start screaming and yelling at you.
Okay, real quick before we get to our part shot. What do you guys feel about this NBA restriction? Real quick, what do you guys feel about it?
I get both. I get both sides because I am being extra cautious because I that's the reason why I didn't go to the Spence fight with you.
Hmm.
So I can understand what they are like. What you're saying is protecting their investment, but at the same time, I get what you're saying too. Like, what if they want to get away from home just for a little bit? What if they need, just
Just the
to
mental, the mental.
yeah,
Like Brian said.
music doesn't do it every time.
Like Brian said,
Um,
they can't even go to their kids' games. Like that's crazy.
yeah.
I'd be really mad about that because you saw my son play tonight, and I'd be like, if I was an NBA player, I'd be like, fuck it, I'm going.
And they said with some exceptions. So there might be some exceptions there, that might, do something for them. But it's just like I
I mean,
said, I
I
get
get
both
it. I get
sides.
it. You're
I get
trying
both
to
I
you're
get
trying
both
to
sides.
you're trying to protect your investment because you pay these players millions and millions of dollars. I get it, but at the same time, these players are human as well. They need that interaction outside of their job. So that's just my opinion. So, boom, what you think?
It's necessary to keep the players safe. I understand why they have those restrictions in
Mm-hmm.
place, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, even when they say Corona wasn't around, they would still be able to go to the get kids game, but not as often as they would like.
Mhm.
And now with the Corona not going at all, is going to kill some of these players because all they're going to be thinking about is family.
Mm-hmm.
But not to be going there is protecting the team, the NBA, everyone. So I get why they're doing it. I think they
I
should.
understand.
I think they should go back to the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
They should do what they did like in the bubble, where they allow their barbers to come in. If they can allow barbers to come in, they can allow their entertainment to come in too.
They did no, they didn't. The barbers were on site.
That's it.
Yeah,
The
They
entertainment,
had
right?
they had entertainment and their families come on. Yeah.
yeah,
So
but they had the barber. They built like a makeshift house just for the barbers. My boy actually ran it like and was in there. So it's not like they were coming to the room or anything because you saw what happened when somebody got brought some old girl to the room.
but
Um,
I will say this.
but
It
she
was
was tested.
it was Taylor Rooks, so I would have took that loss too because it was her. So yes, if it was Taylor Rooks, I would definitely take that L on that one. Especially the fact that he wasn't playing much. I would have definitely took that loss on that one because it was her.
But like I said, yes, we're getting your
So yeah,
messages. So we
definitely,
are
definitely,
actually
definitely.
about
So,
to leave.
but
We're about to leave, John. It's the end of our show. Parting shot. I don't even have a parting shot. I'm trying. I thought I've been thinking this whole
yeah,
entire time, and I can't even think of.
the only partner shot I would the only partner shot I have is I went to, like I said earlier, I went to the Spence Garcia fight in Arlington, and it was a hell of a fight. It was a hell of a fight. My man is back. Big Fish is back in the
John
building.
Cabot has
He
none of
looked
your
great.
business.
He had yeah, man. If you so worried about our stream, to get off, man. We're about to end our show anyway, so stop.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that has
so
nothing to
I went. It's not about how many people is watching our stream. It's just the fact that we do what we love. So if you don't understand that, then you're in the wrong chat room. Anyway, I saw what Spence did. He looked great post accident. He looked great. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this. I think boxing is slowly dying a slow death. I really do. I really do think it's dying a slow death. Uh, I think that especially the fact that Mayweather and Paul are fighting, that really pissed me off. That really irritated me because I think it's disrespectful to the sport. I think that Mayweather is making a mockery of the sport. Yes, he's one of my favorite fighters. He's one of my favorite fighters, but at the same time, he's making a mockery of the sport. He's being disrespectful to the sport by fighting a guy who I think is not worthy of him fighting. I'd rather him fight like Spence or Crawford or Thurman or even Pacquiao again. I really think that this is the way that's going right now. Even Dana said it. Boxing is starting to turn into WWE with
Yep.
all these exhibition fights. You saw what happened with Nate Robinson and Paul, and the memes and stuff like that. But if Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford are somewhat listening to this broadcast, I'm gonna need y'all to man up and fight.
Please.
I don't give a damn who's talking about what, who don't need who don't care about who. I'm gonna need y'all to fight because boxing is at a critical state right now, especially if this Paul and Mayweather fight does numbers. Because you saw what, I don't know if Ladonna, I don't know if you and Boom saw it, but I think the Tyson Jones fight raked in $80 million this past weekend.
It was number one pay per view of 2020.
And these are two old fighters out there prime, having fought in decades, pulling $80 million. So you see what the state of boxing is right now. Spence, I don't even care if it's Spence and Crawford. It could be Spence versus Pacquiao, Crawford versus Pacquiao. That fight needs to happen. That fight needs to happen. Like, it would literally save boxing. And I don't want it to be another Mayweather Pacquiao fight where we had to wait several years when both fighters are not in the best shape of their life and they, what I'm saying, they actually fight. And Sam, I agree with you. Crawford came to the fight. He was shown on Instagram. He was shown on Twitter. He was at the fight. And you figured Spence would be like, you know what? I want him. But you know what Spence said? Spence was like, you know what? I'm just gonna chill until I'm gonna fight next summer. I'm gonna chill, and then we'll figure it out from there. That was your perfect time to call out Crawford, because if I remember correctly, I remember Sam. You might want to correct me on this because I might be wrong. There were two fighters that despised each other, and it got so bad that one of the fighters leg dropped him off a limousine. Sam, give me those names because I can't remember them because it was a fighter that leg dropped another guy off the ring, a drop kick, try to drop kick him off the ring. You got to do that. Yes, but you know what, Brian? I think he could get in the ring because of Corona and stuff. If it would have been back in the day, I think he would have. But at that point, I think that at that point in that time, when the opportunity arose when Spence won, they should have interacted somewhere and made the fight. And then we all know that Arum and Crawford are not really getting along, and Crawford said he's losing money. That's who it was, Brian. Ali and Larry Holmes. That's who it was. And I think that my thing is that when you have an opportunity to see somebody that you can feel is better than you should address that. And I felt that they both dropped the ball. And if this Mayweather and Paul fight takes off like I think it will, boxing might be on life support after that. Even Dana White said it. Dana White said that, and I will say it like this. I will say it like this. As much as I despise Dana White, at least he gives us the fight. At least he gives us the fights we want, that we want to see.
Yeah.
It's not doing that. It's not doing that right now. So I need them to get it together and figure out when they're going to have this fight. Figure out the split because right now I think they're arguing over who can get the bigger split. I think Spence wants 60-40 and Crawford's like no 50-50. Uh, that should happen.
Just do
It
it
should happen.
50-50.
And if it
50-50
don't,
and give it to the people.
it should be 50-50. And I think they were arguing about who's gonna come out last and stuff. I don't give a fuck about that. You think Tyson cared about who came out first or last? No. He just wanted to knock your head off. So at that point, I really think
Mike doesn't come on here because he has his own show on Tuesday nights.
yeah. So I think that they should get it together and get that going because if they don't have this fight no time soon, boxing's gonna pretty much be on life support.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say about that. So Crawford and Spence, if you hear me, make the damn fight.
Yeah. Make it
I
work.
don't care if it's I don't care if it's in Arlington or Vegas. I'm going. So y'all need to let me know so I can start saving my money. And that's all I gotta say about that. So
Boom.
yeah, Sam said it. Get Dana right to run boxing. Yeah, because Dana White will make the fights. You see what he did in the
Yep.
UFC? He makes the fights. Like with Costa and the style bender was the number one and number two. Guess what he did? Oh, y'all got to fight each other. Do the
ASAP.
same thing. ASAP right now. So that's all I got to say about that. That's my part shot. Boxing, you need to really get it together and make these fights happen, or otherwise you're gonna be on life support.
Yep.
Yeah, too many belts in boxing. Way too many belts. Too many belts. Too many weight classes. Too many supers, middle, junior. Get rid of all that and make it like the six original classes. So that's all I got to say. That's my part shot.
I don't have
Boom, you
anything
got
to say.
anything?
No.
Okay.
Well, thank you everybody that was paying attention to our show called. Thank you again, Tyler Butler, for joining us. Like I said, if you need his info, um, I just sent it to Sam. I will send it to you, Dre.
Yeah, send it to me so I can follow him.
But I always share his stuff. If you're in, I know if you're in our group. Um, give me 2 seconds.
Yeah,
Joe,
yeah, Brian.
Sports and culture.
when I
Sports
don't
and culture.
damn.
Look at this. Legacy and franchise champions too. Yeah, get rid of all that. Regular champion, super champion, get rid of all that shit.
Yeah, but sports and culture, sports
So,
media
John, if you don't
LLC.
like our show,
Um,
John, if you don't like our show,
you
you can
know
always not
he's
watch.
not
Okay.
saying nothing bad. He's not saying nothing any bad. He's not even saying anything bad. Relax, woosah. Again, sports and culture, sports media is Tyler's name. He also does follow Cowboys. He does the Cowboys Instagram. Um, Next week will be on next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. He is watching the game, John, so that's why he is not speaking. Um, Again, thank you, and everybody have a great night.
Out of here.
Peace out.
Yeah.